Okay, so first you're going to start by applying your base coat to all of your nails, and I'm using a Formula X base coat, and I'm not really sure what the name is, but you can get it at Sephora. And once that dries, I'm applying 2/3 coats of white nail polish to my middle finger. The polish that I'm using is Sally Hansen Let Know. And it's also really important that this white dries completely, because if it doesn't, when you go to do your design and use your toothpick, then it's gonna smudge it and it's not gonna look good. So for the logo, I started by drawing 3 lines, 1 down the center and then 2 on each side, kind of diagonal to that line. You want to try to get these lines pretty straight, but I mean, it's okay if they're not perfect, because I'm kind of just using it as a guide to the leaves that I'm going to draw later. To make each leaf, I drew a curved line on both sides of the straight line. So kind of like when you would make a heart and then cut out half of it to make the whole thing. It's the same thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just ignore what I just said. Yeah. Basically, just draw 3 leaves / football shapes on your nail. I feel like I made that sound much more complicated than it actually is. And you also want to make sure that they all touch at almost the bottom, not quite the bottom, but the middle, bottom, lower part. It really helps just to look at the Adidas logo while you're drawing it on your nail. That way you know what it's supposed to look like and it doesn't get deformed. Really, just take your time with this, because I definitely did not just make 3 perfect leaves. I had to keep going over it and filling in parts and adding things to make it look good. Oh, and by the way, I'm using black acrylic paint to do this. I definitely forgot to mention that. I also used white acrylic paint whenever I needed to go over and fix anything. After I finish the leaves, I'm just going to leave that to dry so that I can go back and add my lines later. And for now, I'm just going to write the word Adidas underneath the logo, going across the nail. And for this, there's no tips or tricks. You just kind of have to write it, and I'm kind of sketching it at first, and then I'm going to go back over it and fix it up. And I actually didn't film myself drawing the second D and A because I didn't want this video to be super long, so I kind of cut that out. And lastly, to finish my Adidas logo, I'm adding 3 white lines, and these lines are literally so tiny that my toothpick was too big, so I had to kind of draw them in white and then use black to go over it and kind of cover them up. So for the other accent nail, I decided to do glitter because I like glitter. So I just started by painting my nails using a glitter nail polish, and then I just sprinkled loose glitter on top while it was still wet, and then just kind of shook it off onto a paper towel. And to get the rest of the glitter from around my nail, I just used a dry Q-tip. And for the remaining nails, I used a nude from Formula X. This is X-Mahhvelous Rose, and oh my gosh, guys, like you see, this is one coat right here. I seriously love this color so much. I don't know if they still sell it, but if they do, like, you need it, you need it. I did decide to go with a matte top coat for all of the nails except for the glitter nail because I didn't want the glitter to be all like dull and like I seriously love how these turned out. Like, I know they looked kind of a hot mess throughout most of this tutorial, but like in the end, like, look at that. Like, yes.